The door slammed. Something fell. The cat screeched. He's arrived, thought Axinia. Just like his father. Such a reveler and troublemaker. Oh ho ho. He should get married soon. Kitty kitty. Sorry, kitty. A thin female, almost girlish voice. Brought someone home, huh? Completely lost it. Now he's bringing his own home. Oh. To leave or not? But he'll just yell, might even start a fight. Forget it. The woman pretended to be asleep. Quiet. Come here. Mom is sleeping there. Don't be afraid, she's cool. Just let go of the cat, will you? In the morning, she saw her. That night's guest. Just a girl, the mother thought. Where are her parents looking? Valerie, she's just a child. Her son shrugged it off. Washing his face with cold water. Snorted, groaned. The girl sat on a stool, her thin hands on her sharp knees, looking frightened. Mother. This is Nina, my wife. We're going to live together. Give her your robe. How old are you, dear? 17. The girl barely whispered. She approached her son again. Valerie, what are you doing? She's just a child. A child? Valerie stretched. What kind of mother is a child? She knows things you wouldn't even dream of. And he laughed out loud. So, Mrs. Axinia became a mother-in-law. Valerie seemed to settle down, got a job, quit drinking, and came home on time. Nina had no possessions. None at all. They went shopping, bought some things. And Axinia had some clothes, they dressed the girl. She wasn't a beauty, but not bad. The mother didn't ask where she came from, just wondered if her parents knew where she was now living. The girl said she had no parents and lowered her head. The mother decided not to pry. Valerie seemed to have smartened up, started bringing money home, groceries. And Nina got a job as a cafeteria server. Things worked out. Who hasn't done foolish things in their youth, the mother thought. And Nina was a good, calm girl, just very shy. But she'll get used to it. They lived peacefully. The young couple didn't argue. Valerie would snap occasionally. But otherwise, it was quiet. The mother was happy. Quietly hoping for grandchildren. One day, someone knocked on the door, the woman went to open it. On the porch stood an ancient, gray-haired, wrinkled woman, with brown hands and a face like a baked apple. Hello to you. Hello, said Axinia. Ah, you've reached the force of good. Kind people found your address, told me. May I come in, we're exhausted. Oh ho ho, old and young. Only then did Axinia notice that the old woman was not alone. A little boy, about 2, hid behind her. Pale, thin. Light hair, neatly cut in a Kirsch style. Come in, the woman stepped aside. Not understanding, she followed the guests. Where's Nina? She said something. Grandma, I'll settle down and then take Igor. And it's been almost half a year, no word from her. I've gotten old myself, feel sorry for the boy. No one needs him. Nina grew up without parents herself, I raised her. She was good. Then someone spoiled the girl or something, she changed. Then she brought Igor to me. Well, seemed to calm down, yeah. Then again, off she went. I can't handle the boy, take him. But where would I take him? And what about me? He's Nina's, and I'm about to die. You seem like a good woman. So, take him, and I'll go. The old woman quickly headed for the doors. Grandma, the boy cried. Grandma. Now, Igor, now, my golden boy, soon Mom will come, and Grandma has to go. Live well, here are Igor's documents and belongings. Valerie came in first, followed by Nina. Mother, I brought some pork, maybe fry it fresh? Axinia silently stood up and went to the kitchen. Mother, who's sleeping there? Igor. What Igor? Ask your Nina. Nina, what's this? Nina cringed, sat, and looked at the floor. The little boy woke up and cried, but, seeing his mother, ran to her. She hugged him, pressed him to herself, and then stood up and headed for the door. And where to? Valerie and his mother asked in unison. I'll go. We'll go. Where to? Valerie was stunned, looking at his wife. I'll go, Valerie. Thank you for everything. And you too, Aunt Axinia. We'll go with Igor. Sit down. Sit, I told you. Valerie sternly stood up. Nina cringed into a ball. They all talked. Nina explained that Igor's father had left her pregnant. She lived with her grandmother, met Valerie, and didn't dare tell him about the child. Nothing to be done. What about the little one? Axinia kept out of the young couple's way. They managed somehow on their own. But the woman started to notice. It seemed like Nina was crying more often, and Valerie appeared angrier and started staying late at work more frequently. Sometimes he wouldn't come home at all. The mother didn't interfere. Why should she? As her father-in-law used to say, you have to raise them while they're still lying across the bench. And now? They'll figure it out themselves. One day, Valerie said, avoiding eye contact, Mother, Nina and I are separating. How come? I met someone else. But the heart wants what it wants. It is what it is. And the girl? You know she has nowhere to go. Axinia had grown accustomed to a peaceful life, relaxed, and grew fond of little Igor. Not her own blood, but dear to her heart. And the boy felt the same about her. Grandma and grandson. I wanted to ask. Can Nina stay a bit longer? I'll still leave for my own place. But it's not working out between us. I can't. Let her stay. Nina, asks Axinia. What about you? Do you have any education? Just school. How will you live on? Girl? She shrugs with eyes full of tears. Here's what. Go and study. But how? I need to work. Work and study. She sent her to evening school. Helps with Igor herself. They won't take the boy in daycare, he gets sick often. So Axinia started to take care of him herself. Nina goes from work to evening school. The girl is silent, afraid Axinia might kick her out. And she has nowhere to go. The grandmother died, and the house went to the grandmother's son. Where could she go? And Axinia prays every day that Nina won't decide to leave anywhere. And wouldn't take Igor with her. They live. Valerie sometimes comes by. Drops off some money, groceries. Treats Nina like a sister. Igor calls him Uncle Valerie. And he spoils the boy. Gave him a whole bunch of toy cars. Valerie is also raising 2 other children. Once came with his wife. The mother didn't like her. Loud, screechy, like a predatory bird. She was everywhere. Too much. Waving her hands around. Trying to take charge. Started mothering right away. It's not that Axinia was displeased. No. She just realized she would have liked Nina to call her mother. Nina still works at her cafeteria. Moved from being a salesperson to a cook. It's hard, isn't it, Nina? Axinia would ask. It's fine. And she'd smile her quiet smile. Axinia once started talking about her own life. How her father and stepmother married her off to someone she didn't love. How he drank and caused trouble. She used to run away with little Valerie, hiding in baths and barns. Then, God had mercy. He left. Went to another. He used to come by out of habit. But she dared to complain to the police officer. He suggested they move. Here. His mother had a small house. So Xenia and Valerie came here. She started working at a factory. As a winder. Sent Valerie to school. He was a good boy. But the father's genes made themselves known. Even the police officer was afraid of Valerie's father. That's why he suggested they move here. Far from sin. Valerie went to the army. Came back and started reveling. And then God sent you. He calmed down with you. Nina blushes. Igor clings to his grandmother. My mom had me without a father. My grandma, actually, was my great-grandmother. She raised my mom. Grandma lives somewhere. She has her own family. My mom left her mother. My mom passed away early. It was just me and Grandma. I got involved with a bad crowd. Wanted to be cool, to be accepted as one of them. It's embarrassing to remember. Met Valerie, clung to him. An adult, handsome. Thought it was my chance. Every day I wanted to tell him about Igor. But I was scared. I warmed up near you. Thought, I'd tell later. To feel a little what it's like to live with a mom. Oh, girl. Two women cry. One who has lived her life, the other, just starting. Don't make things up. Nina. I won't let you go anywhere. You're mine, both of you. You and Igor. Valerie arrived. And the mother, remembering the antics of his father, strictly ensures that Nina is treated well. Don't mind that. What's done is done. Now, you're like family. Mother, Valerie says, I wanted to ask? My father, well, my own. They say he's very sick. Asks us to come. What do you think? Mine says we should go. He's still my father. Then go. And you, Mom? Is it worth it? And she went. The old man became frail, all withered up. Lying in the hospital. Saw his son with his former wife. Cries. Where's your beloved? Where are the children? Oh. Cries. She never came. The children are hers. I have no one but you and Valerie. What to do? They took him in. Nursed him back with Nina. Valerie comes by, bringing groceries and medicine. He has become somewhat distant. He cries, asking for forgiveness. Forget it, just live out your days. The grandson, Igor, was initially wary but then got used to him. Calls him Grandpa. They live on. Nina, how about trying to get into a university, huh? What? How? They persuaded her. She got admitted. Oh, she studies during the day, works in the evening. Igor started school. Valerie had a son. Life seems to be getting back on track. One thing worries Xenia. Nina is still alone. When brought up, she dismisses it. I don't need anyone. I have Igor and you. You're my family. Nina has blossomed. Xenia admires her. But she's still alone. Grandson Igor brings joy. Valerie's older kids, not related by blood to Xenia, also started visiting their grandma. They're all welcomed. Mikhail, Valerie's father and Xenia's ex-husband, also recovered. He does chores around the house and plays with the grandchildren. Keeps asking Xenia and his son for forgiveness. Nina has become a production manager. Then, turmoil hit. People are crying. No money. Nothing to eat. The TV broadcasts are all accusatory. What was once good is now bad. No pensions. No salaries. The children are resourceful. Valerie, Nina, and Ludmila. There's nothing to divide. They start importing goods from abroad, while the kids stay with Xenia and Mikhail. Xenia prays to God to let her live longer. To see the grandchildren grow up. To help the children. She has forgotten that Nina is not her blood relative. That she was once Valerie's wife. And Valerie and Ludmila have forgotten about it too. They come, heart and soul, into their work. Hardly resting, they hustle at the market. But at least they're not hungry. Aksinya and the grandfather are dressed in foreign clothes. But what for? They'd rather the children have it. Mikhail likes various chocolates. He's a sweet tooth. Sits down for tea, cuts the chocolate on a small plate, and drinks, squinting like a cat in March. Oh, Aksinya, you're so beautiful. Forgive me, you old fool, for what I did to you. Enough of that, what's done is done, she dismisses and blushes. The children have already set up a stall at the market. Then found a spot for a shop. Nikolai, Ludmila's brother and Valerie's wife, joined their company. All relatives, it seems. Nina, Nikolai can't take his eyes off you. And he loves Igor. She dismisses it. What are you saying, Mom? I owe it to my son. I left him back then. Aksinya is overjoyed to be called Mom. Her heart flutters. My dear Nina, who hasn't made mistakes in their youth? The kids no longer travel for goods themselves. Found suppliers. They even flew to Italy for business negotiations. Opened a bigger store. Aksinya is content. Her heart is at peace. Then, Nina's grandmother, who abandoned her mother, showed up, claiming to be family. And the uncle who left Nina homeless after her grandmother died, also wanted back in. But Nina, now hardened, showed them the door. I have my own family, she says. Mikhail is getting old, but Aksinya holds on. She only asks God not to take Mikhail too soon. It would be too lonely without the old fool. Nina eventually gave in to Nikolai's persistence. The children are doing well, and the grandchildren have grown. It's time for us to retire, old man, says Aksinya. Mikhail nods, holding Aksinya's hand with his spotted one. It's time. My dear. Forgive me for everything, Aksinya. You gave me warmth in my old age. You're like a ray of sunshine. Forgive me. I forgave you long ago. Stop fussing. Hold my hand tighter. We're meant to go into eternity together. They come every holiday. They don't forget. Aksinya and Mikhail have a large family now. Children, grandchildren. Even a great-grandchild. Everyone has long forgotten that Nina and Valerie were not really brother and sister. They all speak kindly of Aksinya, and the children remember Grandpa Mikhail fondly. He loved them all. Such are the twists and turns of life, thinks Nina, holding her son from Valerie's older daughter, her former husband. Try figuring out who's related to whom. Nina smiles to herself. Nina's husband, Nikolai, is Ludmila's brother. So, she's holding her grandnephew. Oh, how the times have changed. A breeze blows, says Igor's wife, Marina. It's a good sign. Grandma and Grandpa send it. Happy that we all live together peacefully. There are people who, like magnets, draw to themselves all those wronged, all those in need of care and guardianship, or just a kind word. And Mrs. Aksinya was such a person. Everyone was drawn to her, and she turned no one away. She warmed and welcomed everyone. There was enough of her love and affection for all. And for all. And for all.